Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's NXT broadcast live on USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Ethan Page defeated Javon Evans. After the match, Shawn Spears attacked Evans until Trick Williams made the save. The show ended with all four men laid out. The NXT Championship #1 Contenders Battle Royal that opened the show saw appearances by TNA's Joe Hendry and Frankie Kazarian. The Battle Royal was won by Evans.
Last week, Spears got the upper hand, but Spears tonight does not. Oh, he hung out again. Damn, that was close. Evans back in now. Trading blows between these two to become the #1 contender. And a little bit of breathing room for Spears. Spears trying to bounce. Oh, Spears got caught.
Big time.
He ain't bouncing.
Oh, my goodness.
The young OG riding the wave of momentum. Evans is going to heat wave.
Here is your winner and the #1 contender to the NXT Championship, Javon Evans!
Kalani Jordan successfully defended the NXT Women's North American title, defeating Michin. In other results, Chase U beat the OC, Fallon Henley topped Carly Bright, and Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice won a triple threat against Meta 4 and JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. After winning the match, Perez laid out her own tag team partner Vice and left the ring. In ratings news, Monday Night Raw brought in 1.747 million viewers to the USA Network this week, according to WrestleNomics. That's up from last week's audience of 1.609 million. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .55, also up from last week's rating of .50. AEW Collision drew 431,000 viewers to TNT on Saturday, according to WrestleNomics, up from the previous week's audience of 388,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .13, steady with the previous week's demo rating. In legal news, WWE last week requested a 90-day extension to contest a registration of the trademark by Major League Wrestling for Hart Foundation, according to Mike Johnson. The extension was reportedly granted, giving WWE until September 11th to file its opposition. MLW's claim to the trademark dates back to a faction promoted by the company from 2018 to 2020, which included Teddy Hart, Brian Pillman Jr., and Davey Boy Smith Jr. WWE originated the term in wrestling in 1985 for the tag team of Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, managed by Jimmy Hart. It was also later used by WWE in 1997 for a faction involving Bret Hart, Neidhart, Owen Hart, Brian Pillman Sr., and Davey Boy Smith Sr. And in National Wrestling Alliance news, the first quarterfinals of the 2024 Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament were presented yesterday on NWA Power on the CW app. In matches taped May 18th at the OC Theater in Forney, Texas, Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton defeated AJ Kazana and KC Kazana, and Kratos and Odinson defeated Daisy Kill and Talos. Also on the show, Reka Tehaka and Tiffany Nieves beat La Rosa Negra and Ruthie J to become the #1 contenders to the NWA Women's World Tag Team Championship. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.